goal of this video is to see if I can change this outer tie rod here without having to have the vehicle realigned. It's got a little bit of play, about 1 millimeter, and the play is mostly in the vertical direction. So I think right now the outer tie rod ball joint's kind of sitting at the top of the socket. There's a little play in there, but I don't think it's contributing to any toe problem because it's sort of self-centering because there's stress on it that's holding it up. So I think it's fairly centered, and the car has a decent alignment on it. So I thought maybe I can replace this without actually having to spend the $100 to have the vehicle realigned right away. I can do that later. So what I did here is I got this laser level from Harbor Freight, and it's got the bubbles, but it's also got the laser here, and I've got that aimed at a piece of paper on the wall. And so what I've done is centered this laser here off of the rotor. It's touching the caliper here, and it's touching the bottom of this bottom surface of the rotor there to keep it all aligned, and the bubbles fairly centered. And I got this mark on the wall with a piece of paper that the laser's giving. And my goal is to change out that tie rod outer, put the new one on, and then realign to a pencil mark associated with that laser line, and then I'll have maintained the same alignment. I'm trying to get the wheel to not move too much. This is the centered position for this wheel. It's not exact, but I've got some tape showing me where my starting point is, and I got a clamp on here trying to keep that wheel from moving too much during the repair. So at least I'll know if it moved because I got this tape that lines up pretty good across there. So we'll see how this goes and see if I can save myself a few dollars, because I know the car is otherwise aligned, so any misalignment in the steering wheel later will be because of what I've done here, so I might still be able to adjust it out. We'll see how it goes. I'll post the next one up. Okay, I got the new tie rod outer on there, Moog part there. I counted 19 turns when I took the old one off, and so I put the new one on. I put 19 turns in it, and you can see compared to before, this is where this X is right here is where the tie rod, that's where the laser was pointing when I got done. So I just had to turn the inner tie rod to adjust it, and you can see just barely where the laser is now. It might be too bright to see, but as I rotated that inner tie rod, it lined up the crosshairs from the old to the new, or rather the other way around, from the new to the old. So it looks like I got the alignment back again. Took a little work because this inner tie rod is pretty rusty. I'd use the impact on it to work on that. I did also have to readjust the steering wheel. It moved a little bit during the process. So I moved that back, I adjusted the inner tie rod, and it looks like I got my alignment back. We'll see how it goes. The steering wheel's in the right spot. I just have to tighten this, tighten the nut up, and we'll see how that rides. Okay, it looks like that worked. My steering wheel's in the same exact position it was before I did the repair, and I'm pretty much the vehicle's tracking exactly the same as it was before. So I would call this one a success. Yeah, this is the tool here again. It was a $20 level from Harbor Freight. I used a 20% off coupon, so it was $16. It's got a magnetic base, and that's how it was attached to the brake rotor. And then obviously with the bubbles between that, the bubbles and the laser, I positioned this so that if it fell off or got bumped, I could always reposition it to the same spot again. So I pushed it aft so it was touching the brake rotor here, and then against the bottom surface of the brake rotor here, where it sticks out, and then just made the bubbles so they were centered here. And in the end, I got my alignment back. So it's a $16 investment and then a savings of a $100 alignment. So that worked pretty well for me.